What's up with the mysterious drones that have been flying over New Jersey for weeks?
I'm not even kidding. It's like the size of our RV.
There's three
over
right
the
there.
trees. There's a third. This is insane.
Groups of drones have been spotted flying over parts of northern New Jersey at night. And from what we can tell, it's been going on for at least 2 weeks. One resident says he's seen the drones almost daily, sometimes as many as 8 at a time. He estimated the larger drones to be the size of a car. The FBI has confirmed they're looking into it, but say they don't have any specifics to share as of Monday morning. Have you seen groups of mysterious drones in your area?
My source today is the famed astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, who has a new book, Merlin's Tour of the Universe, that is in stores now. It is great to have you. I mean, hearing those lawmakers there, I thought one of them raised a good point. If you don't know what it is, how can you tell us what it's not? I mean, what is your take on what we've been seeing pop up over New Jersey?
First, I agree with the sentiment that if people cannot identify what they are, you're in no position to say whether they're are or are not a threat. So I don't get what it means when they say, oh, don't worry about it. We don't know what it is, but don't worry about it. But I can tell you this, yeah, if I can't claim to know the motives of aliens, but just being an earthling, but of all the places to show up on Earth, they pick New Jersey? That'd be odd for me to wonder what the aliens are looking for. No offense to New Jersey. I'm just saying, there's the whole Earth they could have visited. So yeah, it's a mystery. And by the way,
a lot of people are actually saying these are drones disguised as planes. They start to interpret those things as being drones because they're primed to do that, because they've seen these media stories. They see reporters on TV pointing and saying that's a drone when it's clearly a plane to anyone who knows anything about aviation. My name is Mick West. I am a writer and a UAP analyst, which means I try to identify things that are in the sky that people can't identify. Whenever we get a report of something mysterious, like a suspected drone, the most important thing to get is the date, the time, the location, and the direction that the person is looking in.
Yo, look, looks like a triangle.
This was a video where a person claimed to see 8 drones circling around above his house. This is one of the cases where we can actually get the rough position and the time and the location. And you can go into a site like Flight Radar 24 and you can just simply roll back the timeline to that date, time and location, press play, and you'll see what planes are in the air. Then you can select a few of the planes and you can see what path they are taking. So what was happening there was a bunch of planes inbound to one of the local airports, and they were simply waiting to land. So they circle a couple of times and then they carry on the way. And this creates this weird illusion of lots of things in the sky moving around, making these kind of racetrack patterns, kind of like a NASCAR track shaped pattern. But in fact, it's just basically normal air traffic. What we seem to be looking at here is a photo taken at night. Seems to be a slightly long exposure. We see some reflections of lights in the top right corner that are kind of streaked out a bit, which means that the exposure was probably about half a second or a quarter of a second. And we see an object in the middle where we see 2 streaks of light, one kind of tic-tac shaped and one that's just kind of a straight line next to it. And then we see kind of a beam of light coming from it. And to me, this looks like a helicopter with a searchlight. Police helicopters often fly over neighborhoods when crimes are being committed or they're searching for somebody. If we had perhaps a slightly better photo, we might be able to see the navigation lights. But in this photo, what we're seeing is probably just the light from There's this thing called the low information zone, the LIZ. And the low information zone is basically the distance away at which you can't make out the exact shape or the exact configuration or any details about the object that you're looking at. So naturally, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of videos that you can't actually identify simply because they're in the low information zone. They're things that are either too blurry or it's too dark.
The experience I had last night, however, changed the way I feel about this story completely.
This video from News Nation was a reporter standing in a parking lot and reporting live.
At least 5 lights, 6 lights?
I didn't believe what I was seeing, but what was I seeing?
He actually pointed over his shoulder and said, like, there are drones everywhere and here's one right now. Everything he showed was 100% consistent with it being a plane. They were moving in straight lines. The lighting on planes can vary quite a lot. Larry Hogan published this video over his house, a very shaky video, and You can't make out what they are, but it's something that's actually just consistent with normal airplane lights. This is obviously something at quite some distance. You can see the lights are kind of distorted, and there's a lot of digital zoom on this particular case.
I'm sure you guys have heard about New Jersey drones and all the UFO, UAPs, whatever they are calling nowadays. I mean, people are saying it's flying all over the world, not just the USA or New Jersey or a couple cities. So, yeah, I normally don't talk about on this stuff. I want to believe it's a UFO, but I don't think it is, because I'm sure we need more evidence on it. So what do you guys think? I've seen so many clips. Some are convincing. Some are I do believe, some are fake. Some are airplanes. Some are probably the real toy drones. Hey, we're living in an AI time. People can't do anything with AI, generative AI nowadays. So we can't for normal people who are not into tech and AI and ML stuff, machine learning stuff. Even sometime the video made from AI, sometimes it gets me. It's confusing. That's when I try to look at the details, try to figure out if it's real or not. So for normal people, I'm sure those AI content all over the TikToks, wherever, and all over the social medias, wherever they post. I'm sure they get people think it's real, but apparently it's not real. People post anything nowadays online, in social media to get I don't know, 15 minutes fame, or maybe to get to make their content go viral, maybe get bigger. And now social media, it could be anything, or it could be UFO. You never know. So I don't know. I want to believe it's something else. I mean, America has, USA has, the history of doing secretive military test, whatever flight, whatever technology they build. They have history of doing things like this. They don't want the general public to know. They just like to hide, probably for the sake of the safety for the country. I don't know, whatever that is. As you know, Area 51, people, even people say they're UFO, they have UFO there. They're alien captured and I don't think so it is, because we don't have enough evidence of it. It's just the conspiracy theories and maybe sometime merely convincing argument about it. But anyway, so let's come to the point. So what do you guys think about New Jersey drone? Since FAA has banned flying drones in multiple locations, I believe, it's not much, but they were saying 22 or 23 locations, plus some in New York. I've been seeing all those videos. I don't know, some it's we're living in a drone age. People, almost every household has drones, toy drones nowadays. But the surprising thing is those drones are not regular toy drone. They are bigger in size. The way they are flying, it's not like conventional drone or in man, whatever, the plane, it doesn't fly like a plane. Plane does, planes don't go back, or sideways, unless it's a fighter jet or something, which I don't know. I don't have expertise on that or anything, for that matter. Anyway, so I'm curious now. I'm into space, universe. I love to read and watch those kind of contents. I have few of my favorite content creator, scientists, let's say, it's Tyson and a couple other Kaku, and a couple other scientists, Brian Cox. I love listening to them, their theories and their that's for my pleasure. But for when it comes to the reality, I don't know, man. Let's see and wait. If the government, if they know about this, I'm sure they'll never tell us, or like we'll never find out. Maybe 20 years later or 30 years later, when they did do some experiments in area 51, and we found out like years later, like when they declassified all those stuff. Not all of them, but most of the stuff. So probably they'll do it maybe 10 years later or 20 years later, but I don't know about it. But let me know, guys. What do you think? I want to believe, actually, but it's alien stuff, UFO stuff. It's fascinating, but I don't know. I mean, I'm a science guy, I have a science background, so I want to believe. At the same time, I want more evidence about it, that will convince me. Otherwise, there must be something going on. That's what I believe at this point. Yeah, there must be something going on there. Must be big, or must be, some people are talking about lost nuclear arsenal, from World War II in Ukraine or something, then one of them was missing, and then it's inbound to here, or maybe it's already here. That's what they were sniffing on. That's what they were like scanning, for radioactive stuff. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see, guys. What happens. And I love watching all those peoples, talking about all these drones and maybe comparing to UFO, maybe not, who knows. All the orbs or whatever, plasmoid or plasma, whatever, like maybe a wormhole, like it's fascinating to listen all those, to see all those I would say like conspiracy theories at this point, since we don't have evidence, like solid evidence, I would say. But it's fun to watch. I hope there's nothing big about it, nothing harmful, or I don't know, nothing bad about it. Hopefully, people will find out. Government will let us know, about the drones. Let's see. Thank you for watching, guys. Peace.